Every time you or your child goes online, you're leaving so-called breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel in the fairy tale. Except these breadcrumbs aren't helpful. By using things like browser cookies and other often sneaky tracking methods, these digital breadcrumbs create what computer security folks call a digital fingerprint. And it's way more detailed than you might think. Today, we're talking about what this means for your family and how to protect your kids. Here's something to chew on. By 2030, it's predicted that close to $1 billion will be lost to fraudulent activity, partly due to oversharing children's information online. That's not just a number, that's real families facing real consequences. Think about your kid's typical day online. They might be playing games, watching videos, or chatting with friends. But behind the scenes, every click, every search, and probably every app they use is collecting data. A digital fingerprint is the trail of data that a person leaves behind when they use data devices or online services. And for kids, this trail starts earlier than ever. Privacy expert Debbie Reynolds, no, not Carrie Fisher's mom, puts it perfectly. It's like having strangers in your house. In the real world, if your kids brought home a friend you'd never met and said, "We're going upstairs to hang out," you'd say, "I don't think so." But online, that's effectively happening every day. So, what are we actually worried about here? First, there's the forever problem. Each picture and detail shared adds to your child's digital fingerprint. And unlike that embarrassing haircut from middle school, digital mistakes don't fade away. Second, identity theft, cyberbullying, and unwanted attention from strangers are just a few clicks away from innocent oversharing. Kids don't realize that the cute TikTok showing their school uniform or the gaming stream where they mention their neighborhood is painting a detailed picture for potentially the wrong people. Third, there's what experts call data provenance. Basically, your kid's information getting used in ways you never agreed to. You may remember when Twitter collected phone numbers purportedly for security, then went ahead and used them for advertising. That's happening with kids' data too. But the good news is you're not powerless. Here are some practical steps every parent can and probably should take. First, start with the basics. Have regular conversations about what your kids are doing online, not in a scary or judgmental way, but just be genuinely curious. What games are they playing? Who are they talking to? Make it, normal dinner table conversation. Use better tools. Switch to a privacy-focused browser that blocks trackers by default. New legislation requires platforms to activate the most protective settings for kids by default, but don't wait for that. You can take action now. Set up safe spaces. One smart rule could be that all computers and phones stay in common areas of the house, and devices get parked with parents at night. It's like going back to having that one family TV again, but for the digital age. Think before sharing. Before posting that adorable photo of your kid, ask yourself, would I be okay if this showed up in their job interview in 15 years? Consider how you might feel if your embarrassing video was shared with all your middle school peers. I'm not trying to scare you away from technology. The internet has amazing benefits for kids. Learning, creativity, connection. But just like you'd teach your child to look both ways before crossing the street, we need to teach them to be smart about their digital fingerprint. The big tech companies have had the upper hand for years, collecting massive amounts of data, while we clicked agree without reading. But that's changing, and the US is catching up with Europe in this area. The US Senate passed the Kids Online Safety and Privacy Act in 2024, and more protections are coming. Until then, though, I'm afraid it's up to us as parents. My kids are now adults, but you can start with one small change this week. Maybe it's switching web browsers, maybe it's having that conversation with your kid about online safety, or maybe it's just being more thoughtful overall about what you share about them. I have links in the video description below for browser safety comparisons, and some other free tools that may help keep our young people safer. Your kid's digital fingerprint is being created right now. The question is, do you want to help shape it or let someone else do it for you? So are you taking any steps to protect your family's digital privacy? Let me know in the comments below, and take care. So that's another video in the can. If you find this informative or interesting, please consider liking and subscribing down below. And remember, be excellent to each other.